How's everybody doing today? Hopefully everybody's doing well. This live thing set up here. So today I want to talk about are you being programmed for lack? Like you're actually being programmed for lack. And then think about what we call the law of attraction, or the universe, and all that stuff works is I want to make this so you can understand it. So we hear about like the matrix, right? Like the matrix, what the matrix is. We hear that, like, people say you got to escape the matrix, and then you hear only 10% of people know information, or maybe only 1% of the population knows like the stuff. And then it says like there's a whole bunch of people that's holding the information for themselves so that you won't get the information. Well, all of that is actually partially true. And the thing you have to understand is that as human beings, as humans, we have consciousness. And what's basically happened is they know that you are co-creators of reality. When I talk about they, this is what I'm talking about. Like, you talk about matrix, like you talk about your governors, your education system, like religious sectors, family, just a view of the world. So mainstream media. So they know that human consciousness co-creates reality. So therefore they know that you're a co-creator. So what they do is they create a system where they can infiltrate or amplify information into your consciousness. Your consciousness now affects the mass. The mass of everybody together is called the collective subconscious. So what the collective subconscious do is they can infiltrate or amplify information into the collective masses, and they do this through like mainstream media, through things I talked about, like your government, your school organization, systems, parents, beliefs. And the majority of it is done through the mainstream media though. So what happens is this information gets projected into your consciousness, and then you create for them. So they can show you like, this is how you should view reality, this is how you should view people, this is what type of people you should do, this is how your life should look, this is how you should work, this is how much money you should make, this is what life really is like. And you are co-creating that stuff. You know, the biggest thing about all of that, this stuff is that you're working for them and you don't even know it until you can escape that matrix thing. Look, this is very important, because one of the requirements, here's something you gotta understand, people. When you're creating your life, okay, there's two things going on. You have options and you have what's called requirement. So we all know what a requirement is, right? A requirement means there's no option. That's why you have an option. Hey, you can do A or B. A requirement is like, if you don't do this, you can't get that. So the universe, the way the universe works, there's just some parts. Like I said, we are co-creators. You don't exactly control everything. So in the universe, there's some fundamental laws or rules or requirements. So when it comes to like creating your life, a world, you have to have requirements. There's no options. And I'm going to talk about requirement. And see, that's the thing that they don't want to tell you. Like, they don't want to show you that you have to do certain things to get certain where. So one of the requirements is, the most important requirement that you fail to realize is, and they don't tell you this, and they don't harp on it, is that you are a co-creator. You actually help create reality. That's a requirement. You're too busy being distracted for you to know that. That's purposely done so you don't understand, like, okay, I have partial control to create my world by design. Okay? That's the big one. So you are a co-creator. Next requirement is the universe actually cannot have lack. The universe cannot be limited. That's a requirement. Again, you don't see that because a lot of stuff been shoved in your mind, and you co-create reality where you see lack. See those two requirements? If you don't know those two requirements, you can't move to the next step to manifest. You're not going to get what you want. See, you have options, but the options will just launch you back from A to B. The requirement will get you into what I call now the receiving mode. That's where it's going to take charge. Receiving mode is when you know the requirements. Okay, another requirement they don't tell you have to have a certain mindset. You have to have an open mindset. You have to be an optimist to make abundance come into your life. That's a requirement. It's not an option. Most people, and most when you watch a lot of stuff on like improving your mind and all that stuff, I think a lot of teachers don't tell you guys or tell you that, hey man, there's these requirements you have to do, because they know it involves work. It involves sacrifice. It involves discipline. It involves persistence. And it involves repetition. And that's what they don't tell you. See, most people go around here and think, okay, I just got to think positive. If I have a positive mindset, a positive thought, I'm going to manifest and I'm going to get all this good stuff. Positive mindset alone can't change your life. It doesn't. Yes, having a positive mindset is a factor, but that alone can't do it. See how it works? So one of the requirements is, and there's another requirement that you don't know, is that we are driven by our unconscious thoughts mainly. We do a lot of our creating through hidden stuff that we aren't aware of, through hidden feelings, hidden emotions. And that's a requirement. You have to know it's there in order to change that stuff. And unfortunately, we don't know that. And I mentioned this before, and I said this too, and I think I made it a little short on it. I said, look, you can go to all the seminars, you can read all the books, you can take all the courses, you can buy all that stuff, and it just won't work, man. It can't work. The reason why it can't work is because there's two things going on at the same time here. One you have surface level and you have soul level. So let me tell you the difference between surface and soul. Soul is what you call the higher self. Okay? The higher self knows. Soul knows. Conscious mind understands. So there's understanding and knowing. The soul knows, the mind understands. Whenever you're able to comprehend something and learn it and understand it, that's your mind, man. Whenever you know something, that's the soul, that's the higher self. And that's why I say people can do seminars and all this stuff, and they can understand this stuff. When they go to a seminar and they can read all the books, whatever books they have about mindset and all that stuff, people read all those books and they come back with an understanding and they have a mindset. But tell me what happens. When these people apply these stuff, it doesn't work. Why doesn't it work? Because there's incongruence going on here. The mind will understand and the soul knows. So what the soul knows now is that, what the soul knows is that the higher self knows is that, hey, that ain't going to do it. That's why it doesn't work, because now you're fighting the conscious is now at war with the subconscious. See that? If two minds are at war, you can't have peace. You can't have flow state. So that's why it doesn't work. And that's a requirement that they don't tell or teach you. And that's done on purpose. Because that's why you have so much distraction with the mainstream. They put you in so much stuff. They let you watch all these different stuff. Because if you start to know like your mind within your mind, then you're gonna be the best version of yourself. So let's talk about that. All right. So let's talk about the how you can get into the requirement to change. Let's talk about, like, if you go to these seminars, you read these books. Many of you have probably done it, and you come back feeling a little motivated, and you may get a little bit of success, but you always go back to the old pattern. And the reason why you do that is because no one taught you that understanding and knowing is two different realms. People think because you understand, you're going to know. My friend. Understand is not knowing. That's what you were tricked to believe. Okay, now I know. People say, okay, I understand. Now I know. No, you don't. Let me repeat it again. Understanding and knowing is two different things. Understanding is conscious mind. Knowing is soul, it's higher self. See that? So that's the first mistake we make. Because when you understand something, it doesn't mean you know it. It just means you comprehend what you're learning or you're understanding. Knowing is 100% accurate, truth, fact. You can't debate it. That's knowing. So you want to get into the state of knowing, and you need to get to the state of knowing. You got to go into the subconscious to change your what you call your blueprint map of reality down there. When you can go into your subconscious mind, and when you can change that stuff, that's when the books, the seminars are going to make sense to you. Now they're going to start to work, because now you're creating some actions and some habits that are going to make the requirements now. So what's going to happen? Number one is you're going to be more dedicated. You're going to be more patient. You're going to be more persistent. You're going to be more repetitive. Those are habits. Habits can only be instilled in the unconscious. Habits are what makes you successful. Habits are what makes you a failure. Everything is run through that system, down in that system. And, 10%, I say, they say 10% of people know to seek this information. And they say they hide it from the masses. And it's really true, because let me show you some more requirements that you have to know. I'm going to go over these requirements again. These are not options now. These are requirements. This means this is stuff you must know, you must do in order to achieve your biggest desires consistently now. Consistently. Okay? Consistently. I'm not talking about like get little results here and there. If you want to get consistent stuff, here's the requirements that they don't tell you. Okay? That everybody talk about, but no one talks to you and tells you. So let me go down to the requirements here. So this is important. I'll name them number one. So number one requirement, that this is what you must know. The number one first requirement is that you, me, everybody are co-creating reality. Your consciousness has effect on what the world becomes, what you see in your life. That's requirement number one. That's not an option. We know this through study quantum mechanics, quantum theory. We understand how science now shows us how thoughts become things, cells, body, energy, all that stuff. That's requirement number one. Second requirement, that you have to have a certain mindset to get your goals. There's no option in that one. You have to have a certain mindset. Okay, what's the mindset? You have to develop being open mind, and you have to develop seeing the glass half full instead of half empty. In other words, you have to be an optimist. If you can't develop being an optimist, you're not going to get the results. You're not going to get too far in life, man. You are going to get some results, but you're never going to get consistent. So I'll repeat those. So let me repeat two requirements in order to get to what you call receiving mode, to change your life, whatever you want to do. First requirement, you have to understand that you are a co-creator. Number two, you have to what? Have an open mind, optimistic. Okay. Someone asked me how to develop open mind or optimistic. All right. That's correct. Now, the third requirement that you have to know, it's a requirement now that you are not, I want to put the best way so you can understand this, because I think this is going to trip people out. It might trip a lot of people out. So let me try to word it in a way that you will make sense so you can understand this stuff. All right. This is because this is one of the most important requirements here. Okay. The third requirement is this. You looking at me through your camera. You're seeing me. Okay? You may be in another country and you're looking at this guy on his video, and I look real to you, you see everything about me. And you go outside and you look at another human being and you look at your world, okay? You are not here, and you're not like real. You're not like what people say you're a human being. You're actually not that. What you are is, or what you are particles that in your brain, they travel paths of electrochemical signals, and they're traveling, and your brain is compressing this information, and you're seeing a human being. So in technicality, you're not human. You're more like, you could say, a spirit or energy experience, a human experience. We hear that all the time. That is actually true, because that means that nothing is really real. That is a requirement. Let me repeat that, because this is so profound and people don't get this. You are nothing more. I am not me. You're not you. All the stuff you're seeing is a grand hallucination by our brain to make sense. If you go into the brain and you watch how we perceive stuff, everything comes through the back here, right? In the back of your skull, right? It's called the visionary cortex. That's where all reality comes from. What makes you see yourself as this physical flesh being is chemicals and electricity. And they travel upon your nerve endings. And they go into your synapses, and your neurons pick them up. And then axons, the pathways they travel, they flash off, like they give off charges. And it lights up in the visionary cortex. And then you see, voila, a world. You see all this stuff about you. Someone says, what about rain? Not everything. The tree, the plant, it's all a grand perception or hallucination your brain projects about your world. That's a requirement. The world is actually an immaterial dense of quantum foam. We call it quantum theory. The world is actually a particle of light or energy that goes in and out of different dimensions, and by our observation we collapse it from a wave to something that you see. But the fact is, all of this is really not real. That's a requirement, man. If you don't get that, you're not going to manifest and get your big stuff. If you don't get that. This is not understanding, this is knowing now. Yes, someone says, make yourself believe it through repetition. Or you make yourself believe it through studying the science of how the reality works and how this stuff works. Because it's a requirement that you're not going to see on the mainstream. This is a requirement that you're never going to see on Channel 7 News or your evening prime time. You're not going to see any of this stuff on prime time. And it's done purposely, because I say it again, they know that you are a co-creator of reality. So they put information, and they know that all consciousness is connected. So this information goes out, and they program you through the mainstream, through your media, through your church, through your school, through the government. And they tell you how to see reality. So you're actually creating stuff for them. And you're co-creating, and you don't even know that stuff. So that's why you see some. And that brings me into what I call lack. That's why I say you've been programmed for lack. And that's why you see like, oh, I'm capable of making such amount of money. I'm capable of making such amount of money. You're capable of making whatever you want, man. You're capable of making millions of dollars. You're capable of making $1. You're capable of making $1 billion. All of these stuff are out there for you. But if you're in a lane, man, if you're in this lane and you don't know that the lane is open, you're not going to see it. So let me go over that requirement again. You aren't really real. You're just a perception of real. Your brain let me use the term hallucinates. That's a scientific term for reality. Did you know that? When science talk about how we see reality, they actually use the word hallucination. People get the word hallucination wrong. They think it's like, oh, this is a bad thing. It's because you think it was with products or drugs. No. Hallucination means the brain creates an image and it protrudes it out. There's nothing wrong with that. The next information is, the requirement is, they tell you that this stuff is new age and it's occult. So the occult, you know what the word occult really means? Because people, when you hear occult, they think something bad or negative. Occult means hidden knowledge. Go look that up. Root word for occult is hidden. This is hidden knowledge. And you have to have those requirements. Let me repeat the requirements. You have to understand that you're a co-creator. You have to understand that you have to be open-minded. You have to be an optimist. You got to see the glass half full. You have to understand what reality really is. That you are not like this person you think you are. None of this stuff is really real. It's like a game. Now, granted, you experience stuff, you touch stuff, and it feels real to you. But I can prove that to you again, and I can show you how that tricks you. Because when you're touching something, who's telling you, where are you getting the feeling of touching stuff? Senses. Where are these senses? The brain. Nerves. In other words, the only reason you know, or you think you know that this is real, is because your brain is telling you that. You have no other way. Your brain is showing you this and showing you that, and that's the only way you can decode your world. That's the only way you can decode your world. Now, how do we know this stuff? Well, someone might argue and says, well, bro, how do you know physics is real? Don't we use the brain to do that too? So can't the brain tricks you? Well, yeah, that's a good argument, but here's the thing with that. That's why we create instruments that beyond the brain. Instruments now aren't judgmental. An instrument's going to tell you the truth. And the instrument's going to go out and pick reality. So your brain can think and choose and pick. Instruments are never going to lie. An instrument will measure the velocity of the light of a particle. An instrument can tell the chemical makeup of particles in the air. And this instrument is going to tell you what the universe is made of. You have all these different instruments we can use to measure stuff and see how things work. Like you have the double slit experiment. They use instrument. They use these quantum computer things that they can shoot particles at. So that's how we're able to know this stuff. And then we go deeper into the mind and the body, and then we see, wow, everything's like a stream of information going on. See how it works? I have a question. Why is it when I don't care about the manifestation, that's when it comes in? That's a great question. And here's the answer of why you don't care. Because anytime you enter a state of why you don't care, you're in agreement with the universe that you already have it, which is your natural state, which brings me to another requirement that you don't know, that everything is already yours. That's why when you don't care about something, it comes so easier, because you let go of the resistance of what is already yours. See? Voila. Another big requirement that they don't teach you. They try to tell you that you have to care too much, you have to fight for it, you have to really try hard. But as you just demonstrated, when you don't care about something, it manifests. Now you know why it manifests. Because it was already yours already, because you were setting a resistance. But when you let the resistance down, it came into your field, into your sphere. And when it came into your sphere, you experienced it because you were already a part of it. And it goes back to what I'm talking about, and it's to show you that all of this stuff is interconnected because you're a part of a field. You're made from the particles as well. So everything is jumbled up. We're just seeing things in different spectrums. Do you see how that works? Happy Friday, happy Friday. So you see how that works. Because this is something. Can clouds send you sign? Yes, clouds, because it's all a projection. That's why you see these repeated numbers all the time, and you think to yourself like, man, this makes no sense. How can I see these 777 like 5 times in a row? How can I see these 888s and then like two weeks later I got a whole big check of money? Man, this is like a video game. This can't be real. Yeah, because it isn't really real, man. Because we live in this illusion, man. That the universe is made up like that. That's the thing you understand, right? See how that works, right? Yeah, clouds can bring you signal, and because, as I said, you are a co-creator, so you see reality from your unique lens of perception. I see reality from my unique lens. She sees reality from her unique lens. But what the Matrix does, they know that everyone co-creates reality, so they say, all right, if we can get more people, we'll create reality a lot faster, because more people creates more energy. So what they do is they say, let's design a system where we can like push the program to people to think a certain way to create for us. And that's why you have the news and the mainstream. So more people watch something, they can push information into your unconscious mind. And then more people think that thing, it becomes reality. And then more people see their world that way. So people will see like, the more people see like the world is lack and is scarcity, and you're building it for them. And they know this stuff. That's a requirement. See that stuff? I talk about the requirements, right? You can see through, I saw what someone says, I see these freaking numbers everywhere, yet no results of them. Yeah, you're going to see these numbers for a while, and then once you let go, that's when you're going to see results. See that work? Yes, everything is practically already yours, because what happens is, okay, let's talk about like dimensions, right? So we know people, you know what a dimension is? You're like the fifth, the fourth dimension. So let me ask you a question. Where is a dimension? So when you think of dimension in your head, you think of somewhere far, right? You're like, oh man, that's in the fifth dimension. That's in the seventh dimension. That's the eighth. That's the, right? We think your brain or your way you understand stuff is like a dimension is far, right? You know what a dimension is? Every possible dimension is right here in this space around me right now. I don't have to go anywhere to get to a dimension. Dimensions are right here. What a dimension is this, you see the space? It's another space within this space. It's called compactification. It's like the space is curled up upon itself. It's so small, it's a quantum thing that I can't perceive it. But in that dimension, exist different laws or rules and stuff like that. And dimensions aren't physical places you can go. Dimensions are more in a mental aspect where you can enter through your consciousness. There are, however, dimensions out there, such as the multiverse, where you have different universes, different outcomes. You can technically go there, but also it'll be technically impossible to get there because of the immense distance of infinity. So in other words, it's like you can't go there. So, but to be technical, it exists somewhere out there. Yes, someone said, is it in your mind? Everything is in your mind. That's what I'm teaching. I'm showing people that mind is matter, and that's a requirement for you to understand. There is no world outside of anybody. The world is inside of all of you, because your experiences are inside of you. There's nothing you can experience outside, people. You experience things inside, which is projected as a projection of an outside to you. The only way you can decode information, people, is through two sources: electricity and chemicals. Liquid and electricity. In your body, your blood is flowing. Within your blood, your brain is working. Within the brain, it creates chemicals. They call them neurotransmission chemicals. You create chemicals such as serotonin, dopamine, all these different feel-good chemicals, DMT, whatever. These are created, and with these chemicals, they have a charge. They have an electrical charge. This electrical charge fires up into your brain, and your brain lights up because of a visionary cortex. And when the brain lights up, it makes what we call information. And then the information gets spit back out our eyes. And then we see. What we see is actually not really real or not really here. It's a projection through our collective subconscious. We all see the same thing because we've been programmed to see the world this way. Our brains develop that ability to survive. This is not what reality really is. Any books about dimensions? I don't know any books offhand, but dimensions are, I can give you a little detail about dimensions, or holograms as well. Dimensions are spaces within spaces where our perception fails to grasp. The rules, the laws and things exist in different dimensions. For example, I'll make it simple so you can understand this. So like for example, we have 4 dimensions, right? So we can go up, down, left, right. See, I can go in that dimension. That's a dimension. See, space. And we have time as a 4th dimension, because time is like, I can't go to a building or a place to meet you if I don't know the time. I can't say, hey, I'm going to meet you at Publix. You're going to be like, what time? So we have time as this dimension, because with time we're constantly in the moment. We're constantly stuck in the present and moving forward. See, time is a dimension that you and I can't control. It's a prisoner to us. You can't go in the past and you can't go to the future because they're just concepts of the mind. They're just like memories and they're just projections. But there's only one thing that's fact, is that I'm always here right now. See how that works? So a dimension. And then you have 4, 5, 6. Now with the other dimensions we talk about, like 5th, 6th dimensions. Now these dimensions are more like a mathematic probability dimension. These are more dimensions with different rules and laws in quantum world. So in the 5th and 6th dimension is where the laws of physics change. It goes off into another universe, into a bubble universe. Now, the reason that these dimensions are amongst us right now, and we can't sense them, or we can't interact with them physically like how we can do like our dimension, is because, remember I talked about, I said that everything gives off a charge, like a little particle of electricity. So, that's a particle. So, because in our dimension here, an electron gives off a certain charge, that's why we're able to exist. In another dimension, the electron gives off just a little bit of different charge, and that's how they exist. But that little difference in charge is what makes us oblivious to sense that dimension, even though it's occurring right here, right now with us. The charge, the spin of the electron, the charge electron gave us, make our senses not able to see and touch that stuff. So there could be another dimension right now where there are beings that the charge of the electron gave off such a way that they can see their dimension, but guess what? They can also see our dimension, and they can come into our dimension, and we don't even know they're here, but they can see us, we can't see them. That is possible. But as for us, as far as we're concerned, we don't have the ability to go and perceive those dimensions. Not physically, but we can get to dimensions mentally through our thoughts and our mind, right? And that's further evidence to show you that mind is everything. A mind is matter. Okay? See how that works? What is the cube of Saturn? Mark, how do I assume all the time I got a lot of money? I got what? I got for peef money? Or do you assume if you have money? So if you perceive it, you can achieve it. Yes, anything you can perceive, because reality is a bunch of perceptions. Can you bring multiple things into your reality at once? Yes. But the question is, can you focus on multiple things at once? If you can focus on multiple things at once, you can bring multiple things into your reality. But most people don't practice focusing on multiple things. You focus on one thing at a time. But technically, yeah, you can focus on that, and you can bring it into your reality. If you have the patience, the persistence, the focus, technically you can. Yeah, see how that works, right? If we all see reality different, if we all see reality in different lenses, does that mean we are all in different realities? Yes, every single person is in a different reality. That's the next requirement. Because every single person has their own brain chemistry and their own makeup in their brains, right? So that means, see, now that goes about the dimension. I showed you about dimension. We're all in different realities, but we're all in the same space-time dimension. That's why I can stand next to you, you can stand next to me, and I could feel a certain way, and you could feel a certain way, and to us it looks normal. Like we could be at the same place, like we'd be at a concert, we're in a nice concert, you're having a good time, I'm not vibing it. We have totally different experiences, because we're in two different realities, but we're in the same space-time experiencing the same event. Because in my mind, in my body, in my mind, I'm not vibing the music, something's off with it. So my brain and my chemistry is telling me this isn't good. In your mind, this is the best music you ever had. So we have two realities at the same time. So we see realities different. So that means I have control to create my reality. You have control to create your reality. That's what the Matrix does. That's what the Matrix knows. That's what I'm showing you guys. They know that all humans can co-create. So why don't we just set up a system where we make them co-create for what we want? So what we're going to do is we're going to make the world look this way to them. We're going to put this in this mind, because one is going to affect all of them. The more people, because the next problem with this stuff is I'm connected to you. You're connected to me. I can't escape that. On a subconscious level. All consciousness are connected. So if I watch something and you watch something, I'm helping you create it. See how that works? So that's important. Someone asked me, how do I assume that I have money? Well, it's a perception thing again. So, but the thing about the Matrix, though, it programs people with lack. So people see stuff about like this or that. And look, here's a requirement too. Now, I'll talk about these requirements. Here's another requirement you need to know. Fear is one of the biggest tools, one of the greatest tools that it uses to affect you. Fear is a very powerful manifester. Fear can make you manifest instantly, man. Because it activates what's called the limbic system. The limbic system is like it's called your fight or survival system of the brain. That's like the monkey brain region where the ego exists. What it does in that system is it creates all these chemicals which creates more charge in your body and put more energy out. And it helps you manifest a lot more faster with fear. So they use fear as a weapon or a thing to help to get there, whatever. So can there be certain versions of me in someone else's reality while in my reality? Listen, every single person you know, when they look at you and you're talking to you, they have a version in their head of who you are. You have a version of in your mind of who you think you are. It's two different things. So that means you don't even really know yourself. Every single person you meet have a version of who they think you are, not the actual who you are. You have a version of who you think you are to those people. That's true. That means when you go talk to your friend, and you're talking to your friend has a version in her head this is you. Oh, she's such this way. You have a version in your head, this is how I am. Every single person. So there can be different versions. Anxiety is worried about the future. Depression is living in the past. Be present. That's right. That's how they that's I'm showing you, like you see reality in here, which produces what you call outside. What's the difference between density and dimension? Density is the space within dimension. Density is like compactification. Density is more like how the particles, how the energy is compact in that dimension. A dimension now is just the total space within that. So there's a difference between density and dimension. Density is like the volume, like how much stuff I can put in, how much stuff I can get in a volume. Okay, I'll put it this way. Like you have a house, you have 3 rooms, right? One room, you have like 2 chairs in there. The other room, you have like 5 chairs, 2 beds, desk. That's density. It's more stuff to pack up in there. But both rooms are the same size. Do you believe in string theory? Well, it's not a question if I believe in it. It's a question of is it experimental? Can they show results? And yes, they show results. So I guess you could say it convinces you to believe in it because they do measurements and things like that, and the results are always on point. So sometimes it's not about it's not about the belief. I could believe that string theory don't work, but the evidence shows it works. So screw my belief. The evidence is going to continue to prove me wrong all the time. What lives have you lived total? You mean past lives? The thing, look, okay, let me show you something else, guys. Here's another requirement when it comes to like changing, manifesting abundance, right? There's another requirement you must understand. Technically, we are all the same age of the universe. You and I, if they say the universe is 13 billion years old, If they say the universe is 10 billion years old or infinite, whatever, that's your age as well. Because the particles inside your body, the atoms in your body, they all formed when the universe came. So what I mean by came, first of all, the universe doesn't have a beginning or an end. It's just we could pinpoint a point where something changed. Like there's different. The best way I could put it to you, it's like the universe has different chapters. Yeah, chapters. Like you open a book and you're just in chapter 3, but the book, chapter 1 couldn't be endless. The book is endless. So the Big Bang is a chapter. So you remember now, you and I came from the Big Bang, man. We're energy, right? I mean, when you leave here, the body decays, but your consciousness or the particles, the electricity that makes you up, the magnetism, it goes back into the field, which is you. So you are the universe. You are you're like ages. I feel like I'm afraid of having money and not having enough. How do I change that beliefs? Yeah, that is a subconscious block, and that's a program. So you have to change that by targeting your subconscious. Use subliminals, or you can use affirmations. You got to start to talk to yourself every day and say, why do I have so much money? Why does money love me so much? You know, why am I so abundant? Why is it easy to have money? That will change your subconscious. But anytime someone has something like that, where you're like fear of success, it's a block. It's part of that program I told you, the Matrix. It's part of the consciousness they program through the media to make you feel a certain way. Energy can't be destroyed. That's the first law of thermodynamics. How can you release resistance? Please provide a tip or strategy. So someone gave the answer early, and I'll give you the answer very short. If you want to release resistance, stop caring. That's how you're gonna release resistance. So I could elaborate more for you. I don't mean literally like give up or just like screw everybody. Stop caring basically means don't make things priority over you. You make things, in other words, don't make anything bigger than you. Don't try to force or don't try to control stuff. Let things be the way they are. Understand that, you know, you're going to create what you want and you'll get your desires. By not caring or not holding on to it or not needing it, you're going to release resistance. That's how you release resistance. The majority of resistance, everybody has resistance because we've been conditioned to care about and need and all this stuff. See, I go back to the requirement law. One of the laws is that you don't need to need anything because you already have everything. It's part of you in a space. Look, check this out. And I think I did a short. If you watch this, check this out. Within the space around me right now, within this space, okay, within the space around you right now. So look at the space around me. Every single desire that I want, or everything I ever desire, is right here in this space around me right now. Everything, my dreams, my goals, is right here. So let me show you how this works. It exists invisible to us because we can't see the spectrum. What it actually is, it's called probability of existence. These particles are everywhere. So the particles that are going to make my dreams or make my stuff become reality is right around me right now. Not only is it right around me, it's flowing through me. So like say if I want more money, I want something, it's flowing through me. If I want the dream job, it's flowing through me. If you want a dream partner, everything you desire is flowing through you right now. The only problem is, all right, Mark, this stuff is flowing through me, man, but I'm not experiencing it. So, okay, that's cool. Okay, you say that's a problem, but let me show what's happening. You're not experiencing it right now because you are not aware of it flowing through you. Once you become aware that everything you want or need or whatever desire is already in you, you're able to release the resistance, and that's why I don't care. That's why I'm in the flow state. So when I don't care, I release that stuff. I release the block. Now that stuff can come into my subconscious. Now my subconscious can talk to my conscious mind to tell me how to do the stuff. Or my subconscious can go across the world and find somebody that will help me. Or my subconscious can connect me with somebody. My subconscious can put me in the right place at the right time to make now those probabilities of existence, now they collapse and they become a three-dimensional thing where I can go experience my dreams and my desires. All because I didn't care. See how simple that is? See how I make the complex science so simple for you to understand. Can you release resistance by building trust? Yes, but trust not in people, my friend. Trust in the process of the universe. I just showed you how it works. That's all the trust I need. When I studied quantum mechanics, I was like, man, this stuff is over. There's nothing. I don't need to like worry, fret, or care too much because I understood how the laws. And I was like, man, so this is how it works. So why should I worry? Why should I care? I mean, now look, I'm not saying not to have empathy. I'm talking about here. I'm talking about everything or anything now. It's not bigger than me anymore. It doesn't have power over me. So I trust the creative process of the universe because I know how this stuff works, and it has to work this way all the time. Because there's, like I said, there's certain requirements that's just stuck in the universe. Like I was talking about earlier. If you guys missed it, I was talking about what is an option versus a requirement, and we're co-creators. So there's certain things that we don't have control over, and one of the things we don't have control over is the laws of this universe. One of the laws of the universe is that this process that I'm a part of everything is universal, and there's nothing that I can do. So so it's even better for me now. So that means I can't fail. If I understand the process and I know how to tap into it, then I'll make it into my favor. That's the problem, guys. The reason why people have a lot of resistance is because they don't trust the creative process. And it's also because they're ignorant they don't know how it works. They don't know this stuff exists. They don't know that it's there. That's why they call it occult, hidden knowledge. And this hidden knowledge is hidden from you. Like I said, you won't find this on your primetime channels or anything. And the reason why you won't find it on your channels is because this is a very eye-opening information, man. This is life-changing, man. This gives you power to really take charge of your life, my friends. So until you know this, I mean, it's out there, it's there. You can study this stuff. You can go research. That's the beauty of this, you know. So that's the thing I want to put forth to you guys. What do people think about constantly? I don't know how to be in the present yet project my wants. So the easiest way to be in the present moment is to only think about what you want. Nothing else. That's it. Just think about focus on what you want. And because when you focus on what you want, remember now I said everyone has their own individual reality. So if I focus on only what I want, my brain now will become a tunnel vision and it'll only show me what I want. See that? Is this is this stuff in my book? Yes, some of this is in my book. You can manifest reality. Wow. See, someone just answered me that question. See, some people don't even know that you can manifest reality. Because reality is nothing but perceptions, like I said earlier. It's not a fixed thing. It's a brain our brains are so smart. It evolved in such a way to help us to project our world. Every single day our brain gives us wrong information. Every single day we see optical illusions. Every single day, some of the stuff you don't even notice. But your brain is just doing its best job based on the information it has to give you your world. But it's not your world. Your brain is only giving you 1% of the true nature of the world or reality. Your brain cannot pick up frequencies of sound below a certain hertz. That means right now there are sounds, maybe voices, maybe beings talking to you right now that you can't hear. You can't pick up. Your pet can hear those sounds more than you because your dogs can pick up sounds a little ear. So your dogs could hear other dimensional voices and sounds that you never will ever be able to hear in your life because your brain just haven't developed that. How about seeing? Same thing with sight. We can only see 1% of the electromagnetic spectrum, called visible light. So that means we can't see stuff. Now there's other creatures that can see beyond what we can see. See that? So your brain just evolved just enough to get you by. in this world. And that's what you see around your world. It's not true reality. This is not even the main event, man. This is like a little preview that you're seeing right now. And yeah, you have to see the big picture to understand that if you're seeing this preview, imagine what else is out there. Imagine the stuff that you everything, like I show you guys, everything you can think of is around you right now. It's right here. See, it's right there, right. It's like connected to you, but because your brain can't see it, doesn't mean, just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not there, but it's there. Because we can measure the instruments, we can measure the lights and the frequencies, the particles, and we have different instruments, you know, electroscope, electron microscopes. We can see it all the way down. You know, they don't have technology now where they can see into your cells. They can see the mitochondria. They can see like a helicase. The helicase is like, they can see the little workers carrying your DNA. They like to look like they're walking. If you go to a microscope, you'll be fascinated. It takes information. It's like this little guy like walks. He's carrying like this code of information across. I think it's called a helicase. Yeah, it looks like a skinny man, and he has a block of protein, and he's walking like this in your DNA when they peer down into the molecular of your body. Then they can go beyond that. They can go beyond the molecules. Now they can see into the quantum world. They can see the particles. You know, I think they photographed an electron or an atom for the first time in like 2018, so people can see what an atom looks like. And then what's beyond that? So our technology hasn't gotten that part yet. But there's a whole other world, man. Yeah, it's called a helicase. Helicase is the workers that looks like they transfer information. It looks like a person. I don't know. You could go. I think you could go to YouTube and look up helicase or helicase, and you'll see in a molecular. You'll see your DNA has this little worker, like it has two arms, has a leg, but it's just like protein blocks. He's like this, walking across, putting information in, happening right now in your body. Right now in your body. You can't even see that. You don't even know it's there. Did I miss a lot? Yeah, a little bit, but I'll see if I can upload this, save it to put it on the YouTube channel. See how it works. So these are requirements that you guys have to have. You can manifest reality. It's a perception. There's no reality outside of you. You and I, we are co-creators. We everything in our world. If you're plugged into the matrix or mainstream, you're help create reality. That's why I clocked out a long time ago. I clocked out. I don't help the matrix. I'm not doing creating reality. I'm creating my own reality now. Because once I understand this occult knowledge, remember what occult means, hidden knowledge. Once I realized this occult knowledge and I study stuff, I was like, wow, I got to really plug out of this stuff because I'm contributing to fear. I'm creating more lack in my life because that's what the matrix want to put in the collective. So I was like, it's really easy to get out. All you got to plug out, man. Just don't watch certain things. You don't have to watch the mainstream. You can watch what you want to watch and create your own reality within this reality. Because as I said, we are in dimensions. I mean, remember, a dimension now is not over there or over here. A dimension is right here around us. All dimensions exist right here in the space right here. The only thing that there is a surety of is space itself. Everywhere there's space. Within space are stuff. That's how we get into dimensions in space. So don't let your brain fool you and think, oh, it's over there or I go over there. No, everything is in your mind right now. Everything is in your mind. Have you heard of the Mandela effect? Yes, the Mandela effect is like where people actually, they glitch into a multiverse, a parallel reality. How did you clock out of the matrix? I stopped watching the news. I stopped watching like programs like reality. I stopped watching dumb stuff, man. I stopped watching the news, mainly the news, man, and fear stuff. I stopped watching all type of crap. That's how I plugged out of the matrix, especially the news. The economy, the gas prices, the inflation, the world, all that stuff they put into your head. I stopped watching all that stuff. That's how you plug out of the matrix. And then I just started watching. I just started focusing on what I want in my life. I started looking at things that will benefit me, or like programs that are in my line of what I want to see. I don't want to watch anything about inflation. I don't want nothing about gas price. I don't want nothing about how there is not enough money. I watch stuff where there's like, okay, there's abundance of this, there's abundance of that. I watch a lot of stuff about I go into the deep background. I watch how things create, like the abundance of the universe, how energy, all that stuff. So that I now know that all this stuff is fake. What they're telling people about lack and all that stuff. So I don't experience any of that stuff. How do people attract bad stuff? There's two ways people attract bad stuff. By their thinking and their feelings. So you attract bad stuff by what you think about the most. You attract bad stuff by what you feel internally in your subconscious. But it's all predicated by what you think. That's why I said people have the requirement to become like abundant and get your goals. You have to completely transform your mindset. You have to be an optimist. You cannot be a pessimistic person and expect to have a great life and manifest good stuff. You can't be this person that they talk everybody. You cannot be this type of person. Here's this type of person. You cannot be this person that says, "Well, I'm a realist. I have to see reality as it is." You're not going to get very far with that mindset. Your brain is going to give you a realist. You're going to see what your limitations are. How else can your brain bring you abundance? If you're in a constant state of lack. You see the thing, look, let me show you something how your brain works. This is what you understand. I'll show you how another program, what the Matrix do to put you in there. So, if you see a lot of stuff on the news or television, right? Let's talk about the economy. So, what's been seen a lot about the economy, right? So, you see a lot of stuff about how high inflation is. You see a lot of stuff, how about maybe the prices of fuel are up. You see all that stuff, right? I don't even know how to accept this. Look, you see all this stuff, right? The inflation, the fuel costs, how like the middle class, they show you like people are struggling from paycheck to paycheck, families can't, right? We see all that stuff, right? So here's what happens with your brain now. This is done deliberately. I'm teaching you something here. When your brain is focused on something, it can't see something else. What do I mean by that? If my brain is focused on inflation, my brain now is telling the particles in my body and in my mind, that's what my reality is. Even though abundance is right next to me, that can never be allowed to come in because my brain is shut to one channel. You understand that? This is deep here, so I hope you get this. So if I keep pumping in and watching the news, I am affirming now to my subconscious that, wow, I am in an inflation. Prices are high. There is a lot high gas prices. I can't afford this stuff. Now my subconscious, which is stupid and smart at the same time, it doesn't know. So it's not going to reason and say, Mark, it's going to give me the situation, the experience to have that stuff. Even though abundance is right there. Now let me show you the next angle. Let's say I am aware of the inflation, the prices and the gas prices, and I see people paying a lot of money. I see people struggling. I will never struggle. The gas prices will never affect me. The inflation will never affect my finances. I am aware of them, but my focus now is not on them. See, my brain now is looking at the opportunities. I'm looking at things that are abundant. I'm looking at, okay, there's more money being printed every day. There's more of this. There is really not a fuel shortage. There's tons of fuel on things. It's just a demand. It's a supply-demand thing. Now, see, I'm focused on that now. My subconscious, which is stupid and smart at the same time now it's going to be smart now because it says, oh, so while everybody's suffering with this gas price thing, I'm here walking around and my life hasn't even changed for me. And I hear people talking about, man, I can't go here, man. I'm driving on the road and I see less cars. I'm like, what the heck? And then I was like, oh, these people gas, but it's not affecting me though. Why isn't it affecting me? Because my brain, and that's why I show you guys that reality is a perception. It's not real, so I'm showing you something here. My brain is creating a world for me where everything is normal for me. So all this stuff is not affecting me. I'll make the same money. I'll make more money. I'll have all this stuff. It doesn't matter, man. It's just going to come into me because my brain is looking for my focus, my attention. But, here's the but. How many people know that? Not a lot. That's why you see so many people are stuck. That's why you go out, you see so many people like struggling. You see so many people like tripping about fuel and all. Because the matrix have got them. It's being broadcast every day. Remember what I teach you? I said, look, how does the brain create reality? By repetition. By showing you something every day as often as possible. What else? How does the brain create reality? By fear. The more I can make you fear something, you lose the ability to think for yourself where I can control more of what you do. Voila. So that's why I say to you, two people can live in the same world. One could be struggling and the other person could be abundant as hell. And they're in the same world. They're right next to each other. One person at the gas station trying to find $3 to pay gas. The other guy at the gas station just pumping his credit card. Don't even care. Just wait till his car's filled up. He doesn't even look at the price. Someone says, bro, damn, bro, you just filled your car up. How much did that cost you? Oh, I didn't look, man. I just needed to fill my car up. Why is that? Mindset. The way they view reality. See, the thing you understand is this. Once you adopt and your brain picks a certain frequency, your subconscious is going to lock onto that frequency and make those stuff become your reality. In other words, your subconscious will literally help find the money for you. So when there's a recession, the subconscious make you make more money. When the gas prices are high, you'll make more money to offset it. And you won't know the difference. To you, it'll be like the gas prices are $2.50. But to someone, it's $6. You'll never see that difference because you don't see a difference because you're not tuned to that world. You're not into that world. You're plugged out of that world. Right? See how that works? Can you explain what the balance between focusing and detaching? Well, the balance is don't care. You can't. You got to focus on what you want, but you got to at the same time not care about how you're going to get it or a specific way. That's the balance. The more you detach from something is when you know that nothing is bigger than me. Like I just showed you. Detachment comes when you understand how your mind works, what reality is. And that's what I'm teaching you guys. But someone says abundance mindset. Yes. Once you know that stuff intellectually, remember I said once you understand that, it's going to help you. Now, that's when you're going to be detached because you're going to say to yourself, man, that's what I had to do? Okay, I'm going to do that. I'm telling you guys, this 100% works. It works so good that it's being played on you right now. You don't even know it. Because I can tell you it's been played on you right now because you see it every day on your news channel. Why do you think you're seeing this stuff on the news channel every day, people? Because it works. Why do you think they show so much stuff about inflation? Because it's working. It's making you see reality a certain way, man. It's making you become lack. It's working. That's why this stuff works. If you want to know if something works, go watch your local news. Go watch whatever's on. You know what? How do you know it works? See if they're pushing it a lot. See if they're replaying the same thing over and over again. Okay. Yeah, somebody make a great point. Someone says, I believe all the people who listen to you right now are one and on the same level. That's correct. Because only people on the same level will find this information. Like if you find me right now, it means that you've been searching or your mind has been taking you here. You're on the same level because you're looking and you're. If you're finding me, you're one of those people that are saying something ain't right. I'm missing something here. There's something just off about reality. I need that extra. What am I missing? That's why you find me. Because there's a piece of information that you couldn't put together for yourself, or you're trying to figure out, and I'm providing a piece to the puzzle, just like someone could provide a piece to the puzzle for me. So that's an example again, guys. I'm showing you how the brain works. Your brain is going to seek out, like someone says, like attract like. That's all. That's how this stuff works. You know, it's this thing. That's why you should never worry about how you're going to get your desires, how you're going to get the money, because you should never worry that stuff. Because if you understood that you are given permission, you are the source of that stuff because it's all around you and it comes through your subconscious, right? If you understand that stuff and then you focus on what you want and then you just keep your mind more on what you want instead of what you don't want, I can guarantee you one thing, man. It's going to come to you, and it's going to come to you in some ways that are unimaginable. It's going to come to you in some ways that are imaginable. It's going to come into you in some ways that aren't. It's going to come to some ways that you think you figured it out. It's going to come to you in some ways that you will never figure it out. The reason it does that is because you're working with two things. You're working with limitation and unlimited. So your mind can bring things to you in a limited way, which you are aware that comes to you, but your mind can also bring things to you in an unlimited way that you have no idea how it's going to come to you. And that's the one that most often comes into our existence, because our limited mind can only see a certain thing and it gets capped. It gets cut off to a point that it can't see beyond. The unlimited mind, which is the unconscious, now can go into that field and anything like that. Can you manifest winning the lotto fast? Well, it depends on what you call fast. So let me use my example. So I won the lotto. It took me 13 months. Cynthia Stafford won the lotto. It took her 3 years. Shane Meisler won the lotto. It took him 2 years. I don't know if you know that, but it took them some years. So it depends what you call fast. Now, to me, 13 months, you would say, oh, that's fast. You won in 13 months. She won that. But if you take all those people together, they won fast because time doesn't exist. The year, the 2 years, all that was made up by us. So I don't look at time like that. When I won the lotto, I won it now. Like it was, when it happened now. In other words, it's all about divine timing. So if you're looking to win in 2 weeks or 1 month, I wouldn't approach it that way, because you're going to create resistance. Because now you're going to use your ego, going to put pressure on you. You're going to try to win, which you're not going to win. When people manifest the lotto, when I manifest the lotto, when I play the lotto, when I won the lotto, I already knew I was going to win, because I knew how the stuff works. So I already knew I won already. I was just getting, my slow brain was just getting me to the timeline where I've already won. So when I played, I already knew I won, so I didn't care too much about it. I would visualize, I put it on the back burner. I mean, winning the lotto is very easy, man. I buy my tickets, I sign them, I put them down, and I check them every couple months or 1 month whenever I feel like it, and I visualize. And then I go on with my life, because it's going to happen when it's going to happen at divine time. And it's going to happen because why? Because I said it was going to happen. That's the thing. I said I was going to win, and I won. Anything you say, you're going to do, my friend. Consciously or unconsciously. So might as well just start saying things you want, because that's how this stuff works. Your brain is going to create what you focus on the most. So I was focusing on the lottery, and I kept winning the lottery. If I change my focus to something else, I'm going to do that as well. You can do the same thing. So I don't look at it like fast, because there's no such thing as fast. You know, the time doesn't work that way. Look at it as it's going to happen, and look at it at what you call divine time. That's how you can get that. So what is a miracle? Miracles are what you call magic, and miracles are what we call quantum things that come into existence. Miracle is a word we make up to say supernatural. But let me show you something. Supernatural is really natural. So there really isn't no such thing as a miracle. It's a word we make up to make it look like, oh, I can describe to you the technical science of what a miracle is. So you know what a miracle is? A miracle is, to show you this, there's no such thing as miracle. A miracle is from the unseen to the seen. But the unseen is seen. But the reason it's seen is because we can't see it, but it's there. So there's technically no miracle. Miracle is a language you made up. Everything is possible at all times. Nothing is supernatural. It's very natural. So if you can say, you always manifesting miracles, say that. But I don't like to use the term miracle because it makes it seem like it's out of your control. Like you can't manifest it, or it's like, that's beyond me. It's big. Nothing is beyond you, people. You are creating every single day, man. You are an electromagnetic being. You have so much power. Some of you aren't even aware of it, man. You're using your power the wrong way, but because you're being manipulated by the matrix. Most of you are unconsciously creating what you don't want, and you're unconsciously contributing to the matrix because of your collective subconscious. If people understood that, then the world would be a different place. That's why it's called occult, hidden knowledge. And that's why they place this thing, occult is bad. That's why religion says, oh, you don't want to go to a cult. But how many people actually take the time to look at what the meaning of occult is? When you hear the word occult, oh man, that's occult stuff. They walk off. They don't even understand occult, hidden language. Hidden from language. Hidden knowledge. Sorry, hidden knowledge. Not language, hidden knowledge. Why is knowledge hidden? Why only 10% have this knowledge? That's a question you got to ask yourself, right? Think about that. Why would somebody hide knowledge? Well, a couple of reasons I could think they hide knowledge. Maybe because the knowledge will be so powerful that they don't want people to find out. Maybe they hide it because they want control. Maybe they hide it because it could change something drastic. That's the only reason I think people hide knowledge. So if you're hearing the word occult, that's a great thing. It means hidden knowledge. Yep. There's so much stuff happening. Someone mentioned the gateway process. Yes. But again, guys, you got to remember, it's a game here, man. Look, they put out information on a need-to-know basis. So all this stuff you see about declassified information about how the brain projects consciousness, and the CIA put all this stuff about manifesting, they're just showing you the basic stuff, man. Imagine the stuff they won't put out to you. That'll like trip your mind out, like, whoa. Because if they put that stuff out to you, the whole world system would probably collapse. You just got to get your niche and figure out your part in this play, because it is a play. Who's that? What's that lady there? She's very good. What's her name? Dolores Cannon, right? She said the perfect analogy. She says, look, you're the actor, the director, the writer of this movie. This is like a movie, man. And I remember I showed you guys earlier, so if you're joining late here, I showed you earlier how you see yourself as a human being, what you actually are, what reality is. And if you see all that, if you've been following this, what, about an hour now I'm on here, then you have an idea. But hopefully I can save this video and I can upload it on my YouTube channel so you can watch the whole thing and then it'll make sense to you. But for some of you that maybe joining now, it's not going to make a lot of sense because you're just going to catch end parts. Yeah. So there's actually no supernatural. It's everything is really natural. And just because you can't see something doesn't mean it's not there. And your consciousness affects the field. So I could tell you, so someone would say to me, well, someone asked this question, they said, well, what is reality then? If you're saying everything is a perception, what is actual reality? Well, I can give you a glimpse of what actual reality is. So let's say that your brain turned off. It can't see, like it stopped processing hallucinations of trees and people. Let's say it tuned into what we call the quantum field. That's the field of reality. So what would reality actually look like? So here's a glimpse of what actual reality is. So if we could go into actual reality, all you would see would be just particles dancing around in strings of energy all around, and nothingness. That's what real reality is. So make it easy for you. Let's use a painter. Let's say you're a painter. A painter always going to use a canvas. So reality would be the blank canvas. There's nothing there. Then when you start to paint a mountain, that becomes what you call your perceptual reality. So if you just think about what I'm saying is, I'm actually saying there is actually no such thing as reality, only perceptions. Perception give us a view of reality, if that makes sense. How many times a day would you say to visualize? So here's the thing about visualizing. You should visualize when you feel like it. Point blank. Because you want to go with, remember I talk about you want to go in the flow. Neville Goddard talks about revisions. How would you practice it? What can you enlighten me? What is revision? Is it like visualization? Can someone enlighten me in a comment? But I'll talk about visualization. Visualization is the most powerful tool you have in your arsenal right now to create. I think Neville Goddard talks about that a lot. He talks about visualization. But it's really a powerful tool that you have at your disposal right now. And people aren't even using it, man. Let me give you some advice. I'll give you a simple advice, and this will change your life. If you can go to your bed every night, when you close your eyes and you go to sleep, if you can do this simple thing, if you can, when you go to bed and close your eyes, if you can practice to fall asleep thinking about or seeing something in your head that you want happening without like the how is happening. If you can just go right to the end of that thing every night. For example, if you can see yourself in your new home already, if you can see yourself traveling the world, going to different countries, if you can see yourself in your dream job, if you can do something like that, or if you can see yourself with the lottery check in hand at the office, if you can do that every single night, you are going to experience that thing down the line, 100%. 100%. It's going to happen. The reason why it's going to happen is because when we sleep, when we get into sleep state, we're entering a different facet of our brain chemistry known as the theta state. And that's where our subconscious really takes information serious. In other words, the last thing I think about when I'm going to sleep is the first thing my subconscious works on in the morning when I wake up to make my day. What you call your day. So every night I always practice. The main things I do every night is I make sure when I go to sleep every night, even if I had a bad day or something happened during that day, I make sure never to go to bed angry, upset, or thinking about what happened to me today. I made a point. It gets hard sometimes, yes, but I've gotten really good at this. It's very important that I do this because I know the power of my imagination and my thoughts, especially when I'm going to bed, man. So whatever happened at the end of the day, it's done. Okay. My mind goes in a boop. I focus on I don't bring the past. I don't bring nothing that's not in my head because I know that next day or towards that, what you call future, that's what I'm going to attract. My subconscious is going to make that happen for me. That's a very simple technique anybody can do. And you can go test it for yourself. And you'll see like if you do this for like a week straight, you'll see different results. You'll see like, whoa, things are kind of changing, man. This guy's talking about something here. This guy's onto something here. I tried that and look, this happened. Yeah, and again, it happens because I go back to saying this, that reality, there is no reality. It's only the mind. Our mind is creating, like rendering. When you ever play those role play video games and you walk in and then the screen, you move, the screen cuts off. As you move, it's rendering, it's creating a new screen as you go along. That's how your brain works to reality. So when I'm thinking about something, it's rendering, and as I think about it more, I'm walking, it's coming into my world. Yes, that's correct. This is Stove. She said, upon sleep waken, we're in theta brainwaves. That's correct. Conductive to imprinting our mind. Yes, when you go to sleep, and when you wake up, you're in that theta. And actually, when you get hypnotized, that's what they put you in. Someone answered revision. Okay, revision is changing past memories, adding different desires. Yes, that works 100%. Yes, revision that's a very powerful technique. Yes, you can take it, because remember what a memory is, guys. Remember what I said, your subconscious is smart and stupid at the same time. So let's say if this is good for changing traumas in people. Let's say you had a bad childhood and you remember something. You can actually go back into that memory and change that experience and give it a whole new memory, and your subconscious is going to buy that. And you're going to release the trauma. You can do that. Very powerful. And you can go back into a memory of something, a disappointment, and change that memory into something good. Even your conscious mind be saying, man, what are you trying to do? You're lying. That didn't happen. Remember, your subconscious is what counts here. So you can go back in there. You can change that memory to something good. Voila. It's going to become your world. Your subconscious is going to think it happened for real, and it's going to create the avenue for you to get that stuff. Because your subconscious don't know the difference between good or bad. Very powerful. Can you please share examples of things you've manifested, big and small? And I shared a lot of examples. You could visit my YouTube channel, but it's you guys know. So I think some people can share in the comments here with you. I see. I won the lottery quite a bit of times. Businesses, things like all type of stuff. YouTube, you can go to my YouTube channel. Cars, manifested my cars. Yes, people are putting it in there, so you can go check it out. But it's all about you now. It's not about me. I want to give you the information so you can go do it yourself and show you the tools that I did and what I use to do what I do. All right. So if we collectively focus on a change as a group, the manifestation that we would create. Yes, that's why group manifestation is so important. That's why if people have groups, like you see a lot of these groups popping up, spiritual groups, and if they all meditate or visualize something, it'll manifest a lot what we call quicker or faster. The collective subconscious is really powerful, guys. When you have a group of people that can come together and focus on one thing, it manifests. Because we're putting more energies, right? We are the actor. Really, you are the actor, writer, and everything. So let me show you something. Let me show you something deep here. I'm going to show you something deep. And this stuff will free you. This is going to free you right now. So if you're ever wondering, like, why you may be getting what you don't want or why things don't work out for you, it's because you're stepping on your own self. And what do I mean by that? Let me show you what I mean by that. I'll put it this way. Let's say right now I'm doing this live, and I say to myself, I say, you know what? I'm gonna allow myself to manifest and get an extra $10,000 now. Let me say, I'm gonna say that right now, okay? So you know what, Mark, I'm talking to myself now. I say, Mark, I'm allowing you to manifest and get an extra $10,000 now. Now, when I say now, doesn't mean it's going to come instantly. It could come instantly. Maybe I could check my bank account or something, and there's a deposit for $10,000 or whatever. But now could mean like in this time frame. So let me show you something powerful about that. When I do that, I'm going to show what's going to happen. I'm going to guarantee you this. I just said it on this live. I'm going to say it again. Mark, I'm allowing you to go ahead and manifest an extra $10,000 for yourself. I'm going to come back to you, whatever this next slide, maybe a week or two, and I'm going to show you $10,000 that I've manifested. And I'm going to take a screenshot. Maybe I can't post it on this, but I may post it on my YouTube channel or my page. And I'm going to show you where I got $10,000. And the reason that works is because I'm doing something that a lot of people aren't doing, that people aren't taught to do. You see, you were taught that to get something, someone else is outside of you that's going to control it. In other words, you were taught that there's like a higher power or a higher force that is controlling what you can get, which is like a religion. Like, oh, there's this God that says you don't deserve it, or you're not good enough right now, or some. See, the secret is, guys, I know that I am the only person that gives myself permission, man. When I say yes, it's going to be yes. When I say no, it's going to be no. Nobody else is going to stop me. So I just told you right now, Mark, I just said, Mark, I'm giving myself permission to manifest an extra $10,000 now. $10,000 right now is coming to me. Right now. 100%. That's all. You all have the power. There's not. See, we've been duped, man. You've been duped to think that maybe I could get it, but what if somebody else is going to control it? If you do what I just do, put it in that way, you're going to get it. If you just so good at yourself and say your name, Janet, I now give you permission, and just let it go like that and forget about it, I guarantee you're going to get it. And you remember this live right now? I'm going to put it up, and I'm going to put up the $10,000 when it's going to come. I don't know how it's going to come. Maybe it could come from the lottery. Maybe it could come from somewhere else, but it's going to come because I just gave myself, because I'm the creator, man. I'm the star director of all this stuff. So for a fact, it's going to come. And I've been doing this a while, so it's always going to come. Before I must admit though, before I was doing it, but I was doing it the wrong way, man. I was doing it because I didn't know that I was the boss. I didn't know that I was the boss. I thought I was like a channel to it. I didn't know that the buck stopped with me, because I would do it like I would hope. And I used to do it because I thought there was like a God up there that was in charge of me, that decided if I was going to get it or not. So that's why it didn't work. But now I realize, through quantum physics, to neuroscience, to the subconscious mind, to what reality is, I know all this stuff works. So I'll say it again. How long would this take? It doesn't matter. I don't care how long it'll take. That's not the point. Time doesn't exist. When I say now, this could come within, as soon as I get off this live, it'll come tomorrow, it'll come next week, it'll come a month, it could come whenever. But the way I affirm this, it's going to come at a point where I can put it and show you guys so you remember it. I can tell you when it usually comes, but things change. Usually it takes a few weeks. It could take a few days. So I don't know, but I don't focus on the time, because I know that time is relevant. But if you do that, if you continually give yourself permission, boom, you'll be surprised, man. You'll be surprised. Yeah, self-talk is key, but what I just did is something beyond self-talk now. Listen again what I just said. I talk to myself in the third person. Mark, I give you permission. That's very important, because if you're listening, my subconscious is stupid and smart at the same time. When I give myself third person, it takes a whole lot of pressure off of me, man. My ego's out of the game. There's no pressure on me. It's on somebody else called Mark, which is me. I intuitively know that. My subconscious knows that. My subconscious is going to do the work for me, not my ego. I don't want my conscious mind in this stuff. That's why I say, Mark, I give you permission to manifest an extra $10,000 now. Watch how quick or whatever that's going to come to me. In third person, because my ego now is out the game. I didn't say, Mark, you're going to manifest 10,000. I don't do that. Now my ego's, now I'm going to create resistance. Now it probably won't happen because I'm using my conscious mind. Now my ego's going to say, all right, Mark, let me see what I can do to help you, man. Let's go do this, man. Hey, man, maybe meditate, get some more lottery numbers, man. No. I could say I'm going to do it to the lottery. I don't want it. I'm just going to show you. I'm just going to show you a point, man, how to do this stuff. I'm just going to do it and let my subconscious bring it to me the best way. And I'll show you guys. I mean, you guys know I'm very transparent. You see stuff I post on my Facebook page and the wins and stuff. And I do it just to show you guys, for transparency, show that, hey, man, you can do this stuff. See how it works? So you guys have to adopt by giving yourself permission to have what you want, to your desires, guys. You have to say it in the third person like that. You have to say, Janet, I give you permission. And you're gonna notice the difference between how you feel and what your vibration puts out. Because you see, we were programmed to think that we weren't worthy or deserving to create our own stuff. We were programmed and we were to think that things exist outside of us. That like there's forces that can stop us, but we're the ones that are stopping ourselves because our own subconscious mind is deciding whether we're worthy or not. See, that's the program that was put into us. See, you got to understand that the buck stops with you guys. There is no, like, it's like you're the boss and the villain at the same time, man. And when you realize, you're like, whoa, so I'm the one that decides this? So why am I feeling like something else was beside me? Because that's a program that's put in your subconscious mind. Guys, see how it works? The one thing I like constructive discussions. So I have someone here, and that's why I love to do constructive discussions. Who's this person here? This is Alexander O'Pete. So Alexander O'Pete here says that I'm preaching false narrative, brother. So Alexander, I'd like you to explain, as a constructive criticism, you know, we're cool, it's a discussion. So please explain to, I got 111 people on this live here. Please explain to these people and myself why I'm preaching false narrative, and can you provide some evidence or proof that I'm speaking false narrative, and I can also provide you evidence and proof through science, through quantum physics, through consciousness, and through things that are verifiable goods. So I'd like Alexander Proof to go ahead and chime in, because this is interesting. So this person is telling me that I'm speaking false narratives based on stuff that I've experienced myself with evidence. So this should be interesting. I like to hear how I'm speaking false narrative. It's like I'm sitting at a table, I'm physically eating vegetables and a chicken. And you come into the room and you see me eating the vegetables and the chicken, and you're telling me, hey bro, that's not vegetable or that's not chicken. You're not eating anything. You see me eating it. I can show you I'm eating. I took a picture of me eating the chicken. I upload the chicken. And yet you tell me. That's how irrational this is. So this person I'm waiting for this person to give me some Alexander, what is this? Alexander O'Pete. So go ahead, explain to me why I'm preaching false narrative. I'm looking for him right now. I don't see him. Don't see this person. All right. So look, guys. Bottom line is this. You have to understand. I go back. Look, I'm going over an hour here in this live. So when I first began this live, I showed you what the requirements are to create your life. I showed you through quantum physics. I showed you how the mind and brain works. I showed you through neuroscience. So you learned a little bit of everything. And all these things that I'm showing you is stuff that you can go out on your own and research and see evidence and see the results for yourself. But most importantly, guys, a lot of stuff I'm teaching you is stuff that I myself have experienced and done over and over. It's not something I'm talking about. It's something I've lived, and I'm living it now. That's the only reason I am on this to do this stuff, is because it's something that I done myself. That's why I'm so confident that I can talk and tell you guys this stuff. It's not something I heard about. It's not something it's like a theory I think. I myself was the guinea pig. I experimented on myself. I did it this way and it didn't work. I did that way and it worked. And I kind of figured out how it all works, and that's what I'm broadcasting to people. Hi Mark, how long was your learning curve personally from old mindset to current? That's a great question. It took me to where I am right now, to where I was, to get to this level. It took 2.5 years. The whole process. It took me 2.5 years to where I'm at right now. To release the old and get into the new. And that's one of the requirements, guys. I'm telling you, this stuff is going to take some time. This stuff is going to take some dedication. This stuff is going to take focus. It's going to take discipline. It's going to take sacrifice. It's a good question. What sacrifice did you make? Did you lose friends? That's all part of the sacrifice. It's one of the sacrifices I made, guys. I had to spend a lot of time alone. When you're alone, just when you get to know yourself more. I had to spend a lot of time alone to search and know myself. I had to stop like watching a lot of stuff I used to watch. Like I used to watch the news, and I found that I was actually addicted to the fear of the news. I was always watching the news and watching like crazy stuff. The music I listened to, I had to stop all of that. Most of the music I was listening to, the lyrics were very programmed into my subconscious mind. So I had to sacrifice, but it's worth it, man. And now I'm on a flow state that I just expect it, and it happens for me. So those are the sacrifices, and you could call them sacrifice, but I like to call them blessings, because it was good for me, because I don't miss them. Did you get ridiculed by loved ones and your friends? The thing is, all right, here's the thing. This is a good question here. I want to answer this. I don't want to make this sound like egotistical in a way, but this is the only. All right. I didn't get ridiculed because I couldn't get ridiculed, and the reason why I couldn't get ridiculed was because what I did, it manifested. Okay, I'll use the lottery as an example. I was winning the lottery, and then I was showing my results. So people couldn't ridicule me. They were just looking at me, and they were trying to figure out like what was I doing, because it would happen. So at first they may say like, yeah, right, it's not going to happen. Then it happened. So the ridicule was more like a curiosity. As a matter of fact, a lot of people that were ridiculing me, they started reaching out to me to help them, to show them. People know this story, man. I had a Facebook page right when I first started this, and I gotta go soon. I had a Facebook page when I first started this. I had when I was growing, I had like 30,000 members in there. And then I was learning, I was trusting people. I had this person I met. He said he was a spiritual person. So he said, Mark, I'll help you spread your material. So I made him an administrator in my Facebook group. To make a long story short, he was using my images and to promote his group, whatever. So my people were going there. So he took over my group with 30,000 people in there. So some of you have been following me, you know this stuff. And he took over the group, and then he made a lot of stuff, and it was like oh, Mark is this, Mark is fake, it's da-da-da, and all that stuff. So a lot of the people that were in my group, even people that I helped coach, they started to turn against me, right? And they were listening to this person in the group. And so I wasn't sweating it. So I got the group back. I actually didn't have to create a whole new group. And I let it go. And like I remember like 30 people in that group. There's 30 people I help now. I remember these 30 people, man. And these 30 people, when everything was going good, they were all into my teachings. Yeah, Mark is. Then when this person say this stuff, they were like, "Oh, Mark is a fraud. I don't believe it." And I remember these 30 people, and I could tell you today, every one of those 30 people, they came back to me, asking me to help them. They came back to me asking me to help them. Why did they do that? Because they realized that what I was doing was consistent and I was getting the results. And over time, the person that were telling them, they found out that person was the fraud. Which the person was. I was consistent in my thing. So, the point is, guys, when you know this stuff, you know this stuff. The truth will always, somebody's truth will always come to life. People are going to try to derail you, discredit you. But guys, there's only one thing. Look, man, when you know something, you're going to know something. That's why I don't care, man, because I have results. I do this stuff. I know this stuff. So when the people come, I just sit back because I can already see, like I said, I see the end already because I'm always big picture thinker. And I knew exactly what was going to happen. And that's why I remember those 30 people. I even wrote their names down because these are people I personally, and I checked all their names, 1. So did I take them back? No. I blocked all of these people. They can't even find my name now. Maybe they're finding my name now, they're looking, but I blocked all of them. Because one thing with people, when you're fickle-minded, you're not good for business. If you're riding with me, you're with me. If you're against me, you're against me. You can't be like, oh, with you. Oh, Mark, I'm sorry. I didn't know this guy was fake. Oh, your mind was already fickle, man. I don't want you in my circle. I did my part. I helped you when I could help you. I'm moving on now. There's no hard feelings. I love you from a distance. But that would be the only ridicule I could say I have. And look, what makes this even more powerful is because I think what really helps is the fact that when I show a lot of individuals this stuff and I teach them, they go out and do it themselves. And then they come back and they tell other people. So I think that helps a lot. So they can see like, well, Mark, I did what you did and I won this. I did it, especially with the lottery. It was more with the lottery. Like the thing I teach while we're visualizing I was seeing it. I was kind of shocked myself because I didn't know it was gonna. I didn't know, like, okay, you're doing it so fast, like, so that kind of gave me the authenticity from other results that I put forth. So while they could ridicule me, they couldn't ridicule the people that I was teaching that were getting results. So in their mind, they had to know, like, damn, this guy must be telling, because he told her and she did this, and she's telling people about what Mark taught her and how Mark did all this stuff. So that's how I know. So the results will speak. And guys, look, the reason why this stuff works this way is a simple fact. I discovered the laws of quantum mechanics. Quantum mechanics. Everything I do is predicated on quantum science. Quantum science and my subconscious mind. Quantum science and how human behavior, human interaction. Once I know that, I said, okay, if I can put these together, and I'm gonna always guarantee results. And then if anybody wants to try to ridicule or try to discredit me, it's gonna be literally impossible to discredit me. Because you know why? Because the science, they can't refute it. The mind, they can't refute it. The human body, they can't refute that stuff. So if they can't refute it, they can't do anything. And that's what I work with. I work with things that can show results through verifiable, repeated processes. And that's the same thing I'm doing years ago to what I'm doing now is the same thing I'm doing. And it's the same results. Once you can show the people something, if you could create a system for people and they can get the results if they do that, and then you see the results, it's always going to be that way, because you cannot change the laws of science or physics. It's going to be that way if they do that. That's any successful business or any people, if you want to be successful, do something that people can go research and see for themselves. Do something that has a long track record of consistent results. First, start with yourself though. You have to be the result yourself. You can't teach people something you ain't doing yourself. People are going to see through that easily. So make sure it works on you first. Once it works on you, then you take it out to the public. And that's why if you want to see people who are successful, they're doing things consistently, they're reaching, they're affecting people, and the people are talking about you that you don't even know of to other people because it's working for them. Look, people just want one thing, guys. Everybody here, what do you want? You want results. That's what you want. Let's cut to the chase. You're here because you want results. You want to see, okay, this guy's talking this. Let me go check out his YouTube channel. All right. Let me check his Facebook page. Let me see how many people like this guy really said. Is there anybody that like this worked and stuff? That's what you want to find out. That's what people do. Okay, let me see what this guy really real? All right. So, okay, so these people said he did this. Okay. Oh, okay. So there's something here. There is something here. So let me go further. That's all it takes. Because your work is going to be guaranteed, guys, because you're following the universal law. Once you're plugged in to the nature of how reality works, you are not going to fail. It may take some people a longer time, but eventually they're going to get there and they're going to talk. People talk, man. People are going to talk. People are going to talk. People talk. They know stuff. And that's how you're going to see, like, okay, so this stuff works. That stuff works. That stuff works. And that's going to build your faith. It's going to build your trust. It's going to build your belief. And then you're going to do that. But that's the bottom line. So I already knew that when I started this. I was like, Mark, because I wanted results. I got to get results for myself, man. I was like, man, Mark, okay, what am I going to do? I'm going to win the lottery. I'm going to buy my BMW M3. I'm going to ride off into some sunset. That was my initial thought. I did all of that. I won the lottery. I buy my BMW M3, but I didn't ride off in the sunset. The universe said, hey, man, I got plans for you. I was like, what do you want me to do? It's like, you got to go out and teach people to do this stuff. Like, man, I got to go out and do this stuff. It's like, yeah. It's like, I'm going to make you win more lotteries so people can see that you're believable or something about you, like you winning these lotteries. I started winning more lottery. I started using the numbers. I started coding. It's like, all right, man. So I'm going to show you to teach people to win the lottery. People started winning the lottery. So that was my path. But to be honest with you guys, be real honest, yeah, the lottery is fun. Like winning the lottery is good and all that stuff. Yeah, you got a nice, comfortable life. But what really drives me is the lottery is a part of it. But what I really get the joy in talking about, guys, is teaching you guys how quantum physics, the mind and reality works to create. That's where I get the biggest thing. That's my bread and butter. The lottery is like, I'm known for that. That's what people know me as. That's Mark, the manifesting guy that does the lottery. And I can live with that. I accept that. But I really want to get people to lock into, like, the lottery is just a simple part of it. Is bigger than you can do with the lottery. You can use it for all facets of your life. And that's what really, the science, how the mind, what reality, that's what really drives me to do this stuff. And yeah, the lottery is fun. I do it. It's part of it. So I accept it. See how it works? Right. Yeah, you have to. You're gonna believe it. You're gonna believe it. But look, guys, what helps to believe it, and this is what I was what I would advise you guys to do is to have a basic understanding of who you are, what this all of this is, and how we come into existence, and have an understanding of how your mind works. And I think when you do that, you study all that stuff up, you're gonna have more confidence. You're gonna have the more belief, and it's gonna be easier for you to create a world. Because that's what I did. I kind of put all this together and I followed it, and I was like, okay, so this is how it works. This is what I gotta do, and that's how it works. Somebody made an interesting comment here. I like this. Someone says, this is Smile 4200X. He says, invest, save, don't gamble. That's interesting now. And that's the issue we face here, right? And that's another thing about this. I'm going to address this because I want to teach you something here. For Smile 4200. All right, so I said I love the physics of this stuff. So let's talk about the lottery. So Smile says invest, which is smart. You have to invest. You got that one right. Save, 100% right. Don't gamble. I have to teach you something on that. So when I was playing the lottery, quantum physics played an important role in this, manifesting the lottery. You see, in quantum physics, there's two states. It's called the wave state, and it's called the actuality state. A particle is actually a wave. Basically what a wave is, it says all possible outcomes can come. So when I played the lottery, I knew there had to be multiple realities. There was a reality where I'm gambling, or there is a reality where I'm actually winning. So what I did was, I took out the word gamble. Because if I went into a reality of gamble, that's what I was going to get from my subconscious mind. So gambling actually doesn't exist in my vocabulary. So when I play the lottery, I don't gamble. I play to win, which puts me in a reality of actuality. And that's where people mess up. Because they get the term gambling and their subconscious puts them already in a gamble. So when someone says don't gamble, in their mindset, they are already going to lose. Gambling doesn't exist in my mind. Odds don't exist in my mind. You know why? Because reality is always splitting off, man. It's either I'm going to win or I don't. I'm in the right place at the right time. It's not like you don't go out there and spend a bunch of money. That makes it even better because I don't go out there and spend a bunch of money because I know how this stuff works. I have a budget and I play and I win because I accept it already. So that's something you have to learn, how the universe works. Our language plays a part in how we decode our world. So when someone says, I don't gamble, it's gambling, you already lost, man. Someone says, oh, the odds are too high, you already lost. You already programmed. Remember I told you, the buck stops with you. Now when someone says invest, good stuff. I'm going to invest because you have to invest. Someone save, yes, those are all good. But the one you're messing up is if you think you're gambling, you're not going to win. If you think you're playing the odds, chances are you're not going to win. I'm going to keep it real with you. If you want to manifest a lottery, it ain't going to work. Because your subconscious mind is going to put you in a reality of gambling. You're going to put you in a reality of probability, which most likely mean you may get it, you may not. But your subconscious and quantum physics can put you in a reality of actuality. So when it comes to winning the lottery or manifesting anything, guys, it's only this. Right place at the right time. I'm winning. That's it. There's no odds. There's no competing with 20 million people. All of that stuff doesn't exist in my world. Someone says it. The ones that thought they'd lose, they would lose. That's correct. If you think, there's a great saying, right? It says, if you think you can, or if you think you can't, either way, you're right. That sums this up perfectly. Someone says, if you've ever wondered if you can win in gambling, look at the size of casinos in Las Vegas. Yes, again, that's personal reality, right? Okay, I get it. There's what you call reality, where okay, let me say something about lottery and casinos. It's a business, all right? That's why more people lose than win. It's designed that way. But for an individual of you, you don't have to see it that way. If you look at it like gambling, you're going to lose because you're programming your mind. We each create our own individual realities, man. Look, I remember one time I went into the Hard Rock Casino. I don't do the casinos, but I told this story before. I went to the Hard Rock Casino, and I teach people this. I saw that, look, every machine gives off an energy signature. As trippy as this may seem to people, they don't understand this. Machines are talking to you. Energy is talking to you. It's all communicating to you. And I went into the casino. I put my hands across the thing. And I felt a different vibe. And I played in the casino. I won $500. That was one time. The next time I went back again. And I taught to some people. And they went in there with like tons of money. Next time I went back in the casino again. I went in. I'm open to the universe now. Casino now. Hard Rock Casino right here. I'm walking in. I was actually meeting some friends for dinner, and I'm walking, and I'm passing the casino, and this lady's like, boom, 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 hitting the machine, like upset. That drew my attention. Okay? I went over, and the voice says, hey, you need to go play next to that lady. So I went in there, I took out $100, and I was sitting down, and I was getting ready to play next to her. The minute I was getting ready to play, she got up, and she's like, don't even try your luck. It's a waste of time. Just her exact words. Don't try your luck. It's a waste of time. They're always going to take your money. That's why I got to stop gambling. That's what she said. She left her seat and went. I was going to put my $20, because I took out 120. For my first 20 in the machine I was sitting at. No. The voice said, go sit by her table where she left. I put the $20 in where the lady got up and left. And I first hit the button. Boom. $5,000. In my reality. So whatever your reality is, so if you're in a reality where you think the odds are not in my favor, gambling, they're always going to win. The house wins all the time. The house is going to win all the time. That's a perfect example of how reality works, man. Right place at the right time. That's it. Communication from the universe. Higher self talking to me. Put me in the right place at the right time. Listening to my intuition. The odds didn't exist. The casino. Look, I put as soon as the lady got up, man, I put $20 in and I hit the button. It lit up. And I posted this in my Facebook group. You go look, search it in there. The video's in there. $5,000. Mark, you have IG? Yes, you can find me at just my name, Mark Haughton. Which one of your videos best explain quantum physics? Oh, man, I have so many videos, man. So many videos. I couldn't even tell you one. I could say each video have some good insights, though. So my advice for you guys is this. Don't listen to what people say. Don't listen to people's perceptions or projections. Just focus on what you believe in yourself, and you're going to create it and you're going to win. Because I'll just give you a perfect example of a casino, man. I went in there, I didn't went to play. I went to go have dinner, but I'm always open. The lady's there crushing. She said it's gambling. The same machine she was losing, I sat there, I put $20, I won $5,000. And stuff like that happened to me all the time. And there's no coincidence. Right? Someone says what? It's an addiction. It's been studied. They are tricks to keep you spending. That is correct. That is correct. But that's why you have to play within your means. That's why you have to be smart. That's why you have to know how to navigate this stuff, man. Most people, and look, you know the reason why most people play and they get addicted? Because they get desperate and they in need of money. And the casinos know that. But as I'm teaching you guys, abundance is all around you, so you don't have to get in a desperate state, man. Look, a tip. If you're going to play the casino, I'm going to give you a big tip right now, then I have to go. Here's a secret to winning the casino, guys. Don't go to the casino to win money. Whoa. What's this guy talking about? This guy's trippy right now. Let me repeat it. Don't go to the casino to win money. Let me show you what you're going to do. Go to the casino to... Hold on. Go to the casino to have fun. And if you win some money, it's an extra bonus. You're going to win a ton of money. Let me repeat that. Don't go to the casino to win money. Go to the casino to have fun, and if you win some money, it's a bonus. You're going to win a whole ton of money. If anybody is smart in this live, if you could write in the comments and tell me why I just said what I said and why it's going to work, you've arrived. If anyone can tell me the logic or why I said that, it's something about how physics and the subconscious mind works. If you can figure that out, you're on your way. Go to the casino for free drinks. Go to the casino because they have a good buffet and you're going to play just to have fun. But don't go to the casino to try to win money. Go to the casino to have fun. Say I'm going to go with $100 just to have budget to have fun. If you do it that way, you're going to win a ton of money. This is something deep. This goes into the nature of reality, how to impress the subconscious, how quantum physics works, how electromagnetic energy works against positive natural vibrational state. Ah, look at this. Someone's already commenting. Who's this? Vanilla thing. That's how I won at blackjack. Well, more people are gonna comment. Hey man, that's how I've been winning. Why was that happening, man? Why was I winning that way, bro? Someone says because there's no resistance. Right. Impress the subconscious. Okay, you guys are getting it. You're disconnected from the outcome. All right, let me show you why this. Let me show you what happens when you do this. When you do this,